So what's the first step then? It's
So you'll get it like this with the wires and all the shipping stuff taken out. We have been leaving these on, the peel-aways on,
Okay.
for
You know
when
what I'm
you remove
thinking
the
of,
gray.
get these guys to help them with this? Get them some bands, you know, the bands that you put on the wall and pull? Because it, helps you with this movement and this movement.
Somewhere in there. So funny. Aren't you evaluating somebody? Alright.
so that you've been leaving these on.
Yes, and then under fluoro, before you even stick it in the patient, it's a good idea to look at the graft under fluoro, and then you can actually see the check mark and figure out your orientation and where the contralateral limb is going to be before you even get into the patient. And usually, it's based upon where these trigger wires are at. Sometimes this, but when you go inside the patient, this sheet can sometimes twist, and then you'll end up being in a different spot if you go off of that. So I try and say, put it under fluoro, check where the check mark's at, kind of line up somewhere on the graft, or some places even take a marker and they'll mark, just so they know when they're in, this is where we want it to be up, so that this part we want up, so that the graft's going to be, the contralateral limb's going to open where we want it to go.
Okay, so now let's say you're in place right now and you're where you want to be.
You're in place, you're into the patient where you want to be. All you do is unsheath. Graft has attached to the gray. That's all you got to remember. Gray is graft. So we lock this down on the patient so you know where you want it to be, and then you unsheath. And then we tell you to do 2 stents first.
So you just hold on the back here.
Anywhere you want to. The closer you are to the valve, the more control
More
you
control.
have. If you're back here, you worry about it going like that on you.
Okay. So
So you're going to hold the
Hold the
gray
gray,
and pull
and
the
This is all the sheath from there. That's all
so
the
pull sheath
and then
to
you
back that
unsheath,
way.
I should say.
okay. So if I pull back, I just leave this alone. That
Yeah,
all
keep
comes
the gray
back
right
together.
where you want it to.
Okay.
And you'll see it starting to move up there. We tell you to do 2 stents, then stop. And the reason for that, here's one.
One.
You get kind of a diamond like that.
Okay.
Reason for that, at this point, you could still move the graft up and down. Let's say when you were pulling it back, we kind of moved down a little bit from there, renal, let's go a little bit further back up. You can still push it back up.
Okay.
There's no suprarenals out or anything yet.
Okay,
Does this
so,
graft have suprarenal fixation? It does. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
so 2
once
stents are
we're-
out right now.
Once we're happy with where it is.
So you have to where it is, you keep
deploying.
unsheathing until the contralateral limb pops out. And usually the rep that's there will tell you, you got 4 stents till it pops out. I don't know what size this is. Oh, it's a 3296.
There it is.
Yeah, there's 5 stents.
And there's the check right there. There's the
check mark, the gold check mark.
Yeah.
So I knew that with a 96, you got 5 stents before your contralateral limb pops out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it pops out.
Okay.
At this point, you can stop. According to the IFU, you're supposed to cannulate your gate and do your limb at this point, before you do your limb. Most docs, I'd say about at least 95% of them, probably more than that, they pop the top cap now and lock it in. Because then you don't have to think about it anymore. It's
Yeah,
locked
'cause-
in, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, because right now it's liable to being.
It could.
Push
It's
it
up against, it's holding up here against the wall, and that's it.
Let's go ahead and deploy the
Right,
top
but
cap
there's really
then.
Okay.
nothing.
So do the top cap. Your back trigger wire controls the wire up the top there.
Okay.
So you see that wire kind of coming out the top?
Which one?
This wire.
This
That
right
wire
here?
There, that's the wire back here. All this does, these trigger wires, all they are safety mechanisms. They prevent you from doing something you're not supposed to do yet. So this one is actually attached to the bottom part of the graft. But in order to
Right
do
here?
that one,
Right here?
further down, a little bit further down. It's in the sheath.
Oh, it's
still,
in the
actually,
sheath.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you can't do this one without doing that one though, and that one controls the top cap. So it
Okay,
all has
so-
to be done in order, but it's all.
So you're going to do the
So
very
I would-
bottom one.
Right.
Yep, and you could take that completely off.
What does this do?
This is to release the.
It's so
wire.
you can't. It's so you can't do the top cap early,
Okay.
and then you pull that straight off while holding the gray. Still, you're in the position you want it to be. Just pull straight back.
There, now it's gone.
What's gone?
The thing that was
Trigger
attached
wire.
to the trigger wire. You just pull it right out.
Oh, I
So
see.
trigger wire
So
comes
it's
all the way out.
Okay.
Yeah. So this wire, as you can see, was kind of bent there. That's what went through that hole and locked it in there, and
Oh,
prevented
okay.
it from being.
Deploy.
So you can't make the top cap come off without this being
Okay.
take it out.
Okay, so now you want to unscrew the black.
Correct. You loosen your pin vise, and that controls this inner cannula. That's good. You know,
And then-
loosen her all the way off.
And
So then you're going to advance this black inner cannula, and you can see you can do it as slow as you want to too, and just slowly. There you go.
So advancing that inner cannula makes the
Basically,
suprarenal
pushes,
stents
pushes the
open
gray
up.
up to allow the top cap to pop off. Okay.
And then we tell you to make sure that you have it about a centimeter above the superrenals. The reason for that is that when you go to capture later, you don't want to be anywhere near these. So
Okay.
you can bring that cap down on top of them. So then you tighten your pin vise back up.
Okay.
And now you would go for the
Cannulate and
cannulator.
then, okay.
So cannulate now, and then let's say we've cannulated it, and
So I can bring a leg out if you want. I got 3 legs too.
sure.